Robin Moss can almost still hear it.
Grandmommy, grandmommy, I love you so, love you so, love you so. Imani, I love you so, I love you so, I love you so.
Her first granddaughter strumming this red guitar in her sweet little voice, echoing through the house.
So we just made up songs all the time.
It's one of the many memories Robin and Imani Moss made together. And today, it's all flashing back.
She was juicy, my juicy jaw baby.
Years later, that well-fed baby would die at the hands of her stepmother, beaten and starved to death.
And from a child juicy like that to bony like my finger. Sometimes I just sit and go through all of these and cry.
Robin blames Imani's killer, but she's also one of several families currently suing DFACS, the Georgia Division of Family and Children's Services, for negligence and wrongful death.
I called DFACS. DFACS knew about her case, and they did nothing about it.
Imani's case forced a series of changes at DFACS to try to make kids safer. But 6 years, millions of dollars, and 3 new agency directors later, the reveal has uncovered records showing 2 out of every 5 caseworkers have violated agency policy, potentially putting kids in danger. Between January 2013 and August 2018, out of roughly 1,900 caseworkers, more than 800 were disciplined. Some were minor policy violations, but about 14% of the caseworkers falsified a record or lied about checking in on a child in DFACS custody, and 42% were negligent and inefficient in performing their assigned duties.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Ashley Wilcott is the former director of the Office of the Child Advocate, an oversight office for DFACS.
You call this data frightening. Why?
What kind of people take on a job that specifically is designed to help children, to protect children, and then don't go visit a child, or falsify documents, or don't keep their records? And the basics, those things to me, I cannot comprehend.
The records also show in at least 2 cases like this one, the caseworker's action resulted in a child death. Prosecutors have argued Imani Moss, Layla Daniels, and several other children who died in DFACS care would also be alive had caseworkers done their jobs properly.
I want to be clear. On November the 2nd, did you undress Layla?
No, ma'am.
So if Layla had bruises on her body, would you have seen them?
No, ma'am.
And if a child's nonverbal, should the case manager be doing that at every visit?
Every home visit.
2-year-old Layla was killed by her foster parents, Joseph and Jennifer Rosenbaum. Many DFACS errors were exposed during the murder trial in July. Tom Rollins is the DFACS director.
I think the hopeful side of this is that we are catching all of those instances.
But we're catching them after the fact.
Yes, but remember that we are all humans here. But I will say we do not tolerate falsehoods. We cannot tolerate unethical behavior.
Rollins points to the list of disciplinary actions as progress. Half of the policy violations ended in a written reprimand. A third of the caseworkers were fired.
Yeah, they stepped in, let's see, after she was murdered, and they said this and they said that, but what about before time? So you didn't step in. It's too late to step in when a child is gone.
In the last 4 years, the turnover rate for DFACS workers has decreased from 39% to 34%. The average caseload has gone from as high as 100 to 19. The agency has increased pay and hired more people.
So things are changing in terms of resources that are coming from taxpayers, but these problems still persist.
I don't believe anybody should promise that overnight we will solve this problem. This is going to be an ongoing issue.
Rollins says as the new head of the agency, his focus is on changing the culture. And with that, he hopes he can cut down on the bad acts.
It can be stressful, but we're doing everything we can to make those frontline workers know that they are the most important part of our work because they're the ones who are touching those families every day.
It's too late for both Layla and Imani. Imani's ashes still sit on her grandmother's mantle.
I will not let anybody put her in the ground right now because she's been tortured. When I'm ready, I'll release it over a mountain or something so she can be free.
But Robin hopes the slow wheels of change doesn't make a victim out of another child whose only hope for safety might be